Hello, I'm here at Finextra in London, and today I'm speaking to Jerry Avenell of BatsChi-X Europe. So your CEO was on our panel at the show today looking at the demands from regulators, and someone commented on stage that a lot of the tremendous amount of regulation that the financial service industry is facing right now is driven almost more by politicians' need for re-election rather than creating better market efficiency. I mean, how does a trading facility like BatsChi-X, deal with this turbulent regulatory environment, and how do you support your trading customers in this way?
Well, you're absolutely right. I think the amount of regulation that's coming down the line for a lot of our customers is absolutely overwhelming. The investment in time, in technology that they're having to put into this process is vast, and from our perspective it's really about understanding where we can help, as you say. In some cases we have access to that process where they may not. I think it's fair to say that there is a political agenda in Europe surrounding the banking crisis in general, and alluding to the fact that the economic crisis that Europe is in is as a result that the two are interlinked. So,
I mean, like the European Parliament seems to be very much against dark pools, for example.
Yes, and there's a lobbying agenda that is being pursued by certain parties against that type of activity. Our view is transparency and regulation are really good things, provided that they're on a level playing field and provided that they are being adopted for the right reasons. I think the problem that you have, and that was alluded to in a number of the panels today, is that the political process is drilling into the detail without really understanding the holistic issues that they want to address. And that's where the banks are really starting to struggle. So yes, absolutely, dark pools are being targeted. The reference price waiver has been targeted by the process, as has negotiated trade waivers. They're all waivers, they're all processes that are very beneficial to the system as a whole. And we see it as in our part, because we operate and use those particular waivers, and we do operate dark books, is to get that education process across to the regulators to ensure that they understand what it is that they're debating and what it is they're discussing, and how they want to take that process forward. So it's an incredibly confusing and frustrating time for a lot of those firms.
So to get a bit of an update on what's going on at BatsChi-X, I know you guys have recently applied to become a European exchange. Can you give us an update on the status of that?
Yeah, absolutely. The press announcements that we put out obviously confirmed that the OFT are now reviewing our application. That's part of the due diligence process. That is ongoing. We can't commit to specific dates. But now that the process has started, it's essentially sometime in the next 6 months. That is referred back to the regulators, and hopefully at that point, if we get approval, we'll be able to move forward and operate under the exchange license, which provides us with a number of opportunities that we're very excited about exploiting.
So, I mean, you guys are already Europe's largest trading facility. I mean, what advantage is it going to bring to be listed as an exchange? In the first instance, we are an exchange in the United States, so it makes sense for us to continue through that process and become an exchange here. More importantly, we believe it gives us some opportunities to expand our business. If you imagine that 20 to 30% of business in Europe is retail at a generic level, and that varies from country to country, the investment mandates, that the best execution policies of a number of regions preclude their trades from being executed on anything other than a recognised exchange. So we see that as an opportunity to exploit those regional differences, if you will, and really target the retail investor and offer them an alternative to the exchanges that they operate on at the moment. Secondly, clearly by being an exchange, that will give us some opportunities to explore listing of either securities or other products that can be listed on an exchange. That's something we're very excited about as well. And thirdly, from a public relations perspective, we still live under this perception that MTFs are different in some way to exchanges and what we do. Exactly. And it will just put to bed some of that debate. We operate very rigid surveillance and controls. We're funded and capitalised and regulated in the same way. So it just takes that debate off the table. It's an important part of the process for us.